What's going on, football fans? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Birds. We're trying something new. We're going to be breaking down the Eagles' next opponent in the Chiefs, a team that we know pretty well. We've seen them a bunch of times. The Chiefs played against the Chargers here in Week 1 of the 2025 season, and they lost 27-21. I think the game was never really that close. The Chargers deserved to win it at all times. And if we just take a look at just a quick overview here, now we know that we can't use PFF scores as everything, so of course we're going to go through the tape as well. But we'll just quickly realize here that Josh Simmons, Trey Smith, especially Kingsley Suamataia, all of these guys right here, except for Creed Humphrey, had mediocre to poor games blocking, and that was really evident on tape as well. I think they did pretty good pass blocking, but run block wise, it was bad, and they had some terrible plays, miscommunication in pass pro as well. Defensively, I think their grades don't reflect how they actually played. I think they were better than what was actually given, but they played a bunch of cover one man, and the Chargers ate them up in that. We'll get back to that and how the Eagles can utilize that against it. But it's Chris Jones, and it's Chris Jones. He is the guy that you need to beat. So let's get right to the tape and see exactly what the Chiefs did in Week 1. Right off the bat, we see some just absolutely poor offensive line play from the Chiefs. You know, this rep where they're just going with the zone right side against a extremely light box from the Chargers. Trey Smith, the right guard right here, has one job only, to block this guy right here. Imagine that's Jalen Carter. That would not have been any easier at all. I don't even know who the guy is. You just know that would have been easier. You have two guys in wide 9 in the defensive end. You have 2 tackles, and you have 1 guy at linebacker. Okay, so Creed Humphrey just needs to get up to the second level right there. This guy needs to somewhat withhold his block, get him one way or the other, and then have Isaiah Pacheco read whatever way that is and just explode through the hole. But the block right there is just absolutely horrendous. And they end up gaining nothing on what is the most favorable defensive formation against just a simple zone run. Then they try some trickeration right here with a counter, where we're gonna have I believe it's Xavier Worthy, number 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is here. He's gonna motion inside, then do the counter here. You're gonna have Kingsley Suamataia coming on the pole, as well as the tight end to that side. Khalil Mack, I know he's a good player. Easily takes on the block here from Kingsley, which is absolutely poor. Somewhat good run defense here from 29. Just basically gets up there and then holds the outside contain. Like, again, imagine that's Nolan Carter. I would say at this point here, Nolan Carter pulls better than Khalil Mack. So I think the play design is intriguing. I hate the play from Kingsley. Power once again. Trey Smith just does not get any push at all in the defensive tackle right here. I can't imagine it would be any different if it was been a Jordan Davis in there. Kingsley Suamataia is going to pull right here. Actually, it's set up pretty well, but this defensive tackle just splits Trey Smith and Jawan Taylor really well and closes the gap. No push at all, even though it's a double team. We all hate the Chiefs. Let's face it. We all hate the Chiefs, but we also love coffee. And if you like what I do and you like what the work I've been putting in here, go to Buy Me Coffee, Breaking the Birds. I'll put a link in the description. A new member we have here in Tyler. Thank you for becoming a member, Tyler. Really appreciate it. And for all the rest of you guys who supported the channel. Let's get back to the tape. Complete and utter chaos on the offensive line, the scheme protection here for Patrick Mahomes. Where it looked like Josh Simmons thinks that he's got tight end help on the outside blocking for him. He does not at all, and he's just following the defensive end coming inside. He's moving with that. The rest of the guys here got blocks over here. Either that or Isaiah Pacheco has to go over here, but doesn't, and instead comes over here and then assists on the right side. Either way, you have a loop around rusher that just is completely not picked up right here from Josh Simmons. and he affects the pass from Patrick Mahomes, which otherwise could have gone for a long play there. So once again, offensive line miscommunication. Terrible execution from the Chiefs offense on a screen pass right here. Chargers are sending extra pressure. You got 5 guys coming at him. This guy's not. That guy's not coming. And so you have everything set up the way you want. Patrick Mahomes completely bullets this pass for Isaiah Pacheco, who can make the catch. Also, the offensive line doesn't really get out there fast enough. This guy can beat the offensive lineman to the ball. Would have helped, of course, if Isaiah Pacheco actually caught it. But yeah, multiple things going on a simple screen pass. I think this play is pretty much set up for the deep shot, because otherwise I would have a hard time as a quarterback processing what is going on with the play. I have Travis Kelce on a short option here. You have this guy is going deep, crosser deep. There's so much going on over the middle that I think they're just trying to bait all the safeties up from their zone and then take the shot deep. Try to do that as well. I mean, you can see this guy's confused, but you have a guy running with it here. And Patrick Mahomes is just off on this throw, so it doesn't really become a threat at any point. I think you see, I think this guy could be an option as well if Patrick Mahomes wait a little bit longer. I think it's actually a mistake from Patrick Mahomes. They got so much space to work with right there at the outside. Again, they really want to go vertical, with 3 verticals here, and then a curl route to the top out of a trips formation, or Texas formation with trips to the bottom, where you have the underneath of the quicker option here at the top, and then the rest of the guys gonna go 3 verticals, and Patrick needs to get rid of it here as they're sending quite the amount of pressure. So it's a 5-man pressure. You would think they'll be able to pick that up. They do have the numbers for it. Let's see, Creed Humphrey and then Trey Smith not working together whatsoever on taking on the rusher. He just comes right through the middle. Creed moves, Trey moves, and then it's just an open way. Isaiah Pacheco can't do anything, and then ball's dropped. So sloppy football from the Chiefs all around. Again, here, a lot of times in this game, the Chiefs wanted to create separation or mismatches on short sticks and crossers plays. So where you have like a crosser coming over here, you have a stick situation here as well. And then in this one, you have a guy coming into the flat as well here, and that's the guy who's going to stick. So there's so many different man-beating options here, and then short gaining situations. The Chargers did a really good job of playing this tight and then getting up in the face of everybody who's coming out into their respective routes. This guy right here does a terrific job of pouncing up on that. It just seems like whenever the Chargers got physical with the Chiefs, they weren't really able to create separation or execute their scheme, and that led to Patrick Mahomes scrambling a ton. This is something Andy Reid and Mahomes love to do and love to call, and I think the Eagles are going to be seeing a lot of it. And it's these play-action rollout plays. And the problem with the play here is that there's only really one option for Patrick Mahomes to throw to, and that's that deep crosser. The rest of the guys here, deep post, sit over the middle, swing out here. Just take a look at it. I don't think it looks like they want to do that they want to go back to that side. He's running already here. That guy's coming, so he has to continue that way. But it really also looks like it's designed for him to go that way, which is weird because it's against his throwing shoulder. Again, a weird play, a weird design, but I think Eagles are going to see a lot of play action rollout and boots from Patrick Mahomes, where he can extend plays and then get creative, because that's when they're best. They had a lot of success with this, just straight up slants. Whenever they had, here from Hollywood Brown, whenever they had off coverage, they would be motioning away from it, and then just gunning in for slants. They had like 4 catches that way for Hollywood Brown. You see it here again on the next play. Again, play action rollout. This looks more like in the Andy Reid type offense where you have him rolling to his throwing side and you have a flooding concept with one guy coming into the flat, the intermediate, and then deep out here, and then this guy coming on a crosser. So that looks a lot more like it, and Eagles will face that quite a number of times this weekend. Surprisingly poor offensive play here for the Chiefs if they run it correctly. I can't say that for sure. We're just going to have 3 guys attacking deep. It looks like the outermost guy here is going to run a little bit more inside. It's not going to be that heavy of a break inside. You just banana curls it inside, then you have a short option in the flat and the running back. Zone coverage for the Chargers. It's just a simple cover 3 they're running here. The Chargers are cover 3. Good job by the hoot curl defenders of gaining depth, but there's also really nothing threatening there over the middle. So the offensive design is just weird and doesn't really challenge the low level of the defense right in that sweet spot right here where you would want the linebackers to respect so you can have deep guys coming over top of it, but it doesn't happen here. Cover 1 man for the Chargers, and the Chiefs are going to be running a poor executed crossers here. So have Xavier Worthy and slow man Kelsey, who just looks like he lost 3 steps, if not more. Then you have a post right here in the deep option, and then an out route. I actually like the play. I think there are a lot of options to throw to here, especially considering if you're playing against man, because you have a deep out here. That's pretty favorable in man coverage. If you have a receiver who really can sell that, you have 2 crossers that if they can respect each other, not run into each other, that's favorable beating man coverage. Also, the cornerbacks may run into each other. And if there is any sort of lack from the safety, you have an option to go deep shot again. But just take a look at what happens right here. The collision right here happens because Travis Kelce cannot get off his man and go inside fast enough. He's too slow on the play. Notice the route from Hollywood Brown as well. Really, really poor. That is not going to beat any man coverage whatsoever. And then even the post route here to the outside, don't even know who it is. That's not beating anybody. So what should be easy man beating concepts, really nobody gets open, and it just looks really sloppy. Again here, quick game, quick sit, right over the middle. Whenever the Chargers just gave them a little bit of space, it's exactly what they wanted. Whenever they played it up tight and close, they weren't able to execute it. So here Patrick just simply reads that the linebacker is going to go out with this guy here. That clears him away. And then just a quick sit to where this guy who was about 15 yards or 10 yards off away from the receiver quickly got it in there. So they love to do that stuff. So played close, played tight. And then, of course, Chargers really showing the way right here. Getting into the red zone. They're playing man. And when you're playing man and you're not sending too many, you're going to have extra defenders that you usually have as underneath defenders who are taking away some of the middle of the field. See, this guy right here, he's just eyeing Patrick Mahomes while also taking away the space right in behind him. Then you have man everywhere else on the defense. And so when Patrick wants to scramble out, boom, you hit him, you kill him. I just imagine this is Jihad Campbell or Zach Bond in that role. I think Eagles are well suited personnel-wise to run the cover 1 man, play them tight, and then have Jihad Campbell play that contain role. And I really think that is the way to go about it for the Eagles. So I think defensive line-wise, in terms of the running game that the Chiefs have, Jalen Carter being back, the way Jordan Davis played, Maro Ojomo, now they have a pretty good rotation with Jelix Hunt, Zadarius Smith, Nolan Smith, and Josh Uche. I think they're going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. If they can play it tight, I'm looking at you, Adoree Jackson, and take away some of the quick stuff from the Chiefs and have the safeties play disciplined and helping over the top, I think they're going to be in really, really good shape. The way the Chiefs can carve up the Eagles' defense in this play, at offense is by this dink and dunk. So if they're lining up too many times, 10 yards off, 7 yards off. I know they love to do that stuff under Vic Fangio. I do not understand it. That will be a disaster because that just opens the door for them. On the defensive side for the Chiefs, it's Chris Jones. They have fast linebackers. They're just always springy. But they love to play cover one man. They love to play man coverage instead of exotic blitzes. If Jalen Hurts can extend plays, get rid of the ball, get the passing game going against, have these man beaters, that's where I'm concerned because I didn't like what Kevin Patullo put on tape mostly in man coverage beating patterns. They got to come prepared on offense. I think it's a much more manageable game for the Eagles defense. If they played right, it should be a good one. I like the Eagles' chances. Catch you on the next time, which will be after the Chiefs game. Hit me in the comments what you would like to see more of next week. I hope you enjoyed this week of Breaking the Birds. Go buy me a coffee, and I'll see you next time.